going on, Jerome's? So it makes me feel good. J.J. McCarthy is our quarterback of the future. Going to bring a dozen Lombardies in the next 10 years. It's going to be great. But I'm glad that it seems like the chapter with Voldemort is over, as Voldemort visited the Steelers, didn't have a contract. I just want him to sign somewhere so we can just put it behind us. But also signing a backup quarterback would go a long way to just completely silencio the rumors about Voldemort, right? And of course, Jumpin' Joe Flacco is out there. It's funny. We got a lot of comments. Well, Rodgers is old and Flacco is old. How come you want Flacco? Because Flacco knows he's a backup. I think Rodgers is going to come here and be a backup. Please. Get out of here. Plus, when have you known Flacco to have an ego that rips a team apart? When do you know Flacco to be like, hey, you need to sign Torrey Smith as well as my offensive coordinator of choice? Otherwise, I'm not in. It's ridiculous. Or Ryan Tannehill. Now, Tannehill is interesting. He's 36, going to turn 37 in July. The pride of Texas A&M, which is hilarious. Ryan Tannehill was a wide receiver for the Aggies. Gig him for a couple years. It's great, but shows his athleticism as well as dedication to a team. I ain't going to start a quarterback. All right. I'm going to run the button hook. But Tannehill, who sat out last year after his contract with the Titans expired, he is going to be... It's weird. Last year, whenever there's a quarterback injury, everyone's like, well, Tannehill. And so he was a quarterback in being. Now it looks like he may be on a 90-man rooster coming on up. Long story longer, Jordan Schultz. Jordan Schultz has been doing a fantastic job, by the way. Props. Jordan Schultz souses. The Vikings have had discussions with former Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill about a potential deal. Talks are ongoing, and nothing is imminent as of now, sources tell NFL on Fox. Now, nothing imminent as of now, which... We said that there's been some scuttlebutt that maybe the Vikings have a wink nudge deal ready with one of these veteran quarterbacks, hence why there hasn't been a lot of movement. Jameis Winston just signed with the Giants a little bit ago. I think that takes them out of the Rodgers sweepstakes because it's a pretty clear sign that they're going to maneuver and get either Cam Ward and or Shedeur Sanders in the draft and then have Jameis be their bridge quarterback. But with Flacco... Will he be backo? Tannehill certainly could be the thing. Now, a lot of people have pointed out, well, Tannehill said that it's not his job to mentor backup quarterbacks. Well, context is really important here. So Tannehill said this in 2022, right after the Titans had drafted Malik Willis in the third round. And frankly, he's not wrong. Right? So if you got someone coming for your gerb, it's not your job to mentor them. Brett Favre said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers said the same thing about Jordan Love in as many words, right? And remember, Tannehill at that time was a little bit under fire in Tennessee. He was fighting for his job, and he's absolutely correct. So context does, like, this is even before they drafted Will Levis in the second round, right? This is just a third-round pick in Malik Willis, who is actually showing his guy a little something. Not with Tennessee, but with the Packers. He actually looked kind of good. But with Tannehill, the scenario is completely different. Like, Tannehill, if and when he comes and backs up J.J. McCarthy, he has no illusion that he's the starter, right? So I think he definitely would be open to mentoring. Plus, as much as made about this, like, 2-second soundbite, like, Tannehill, I mean, by all accounts, by all reports, never had an issue with Willis, never had an issue with Will Levis either. So, yeah, I mean, Tannehill is a veteran. He's been around the block. He's done all that stuff, and it's interesting. Like, we even cut off his Dolphins years, right? Because he came in the league same year as Kirk Cousins, RG3, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck in that 2012 class, and he still does have some staying power. And frankly, I would want Tannehill more than Kirk Cousins right now because Kurt, I still don't trust that Achilles. But Tannehill was out of football for a year, which actually could help him. And frankly, down the stretch in Tennessee, like, he became a lot more consistent. It's weird to say, but Arthur Smith and him actually did some good things together. That's why there's always rumors of Tannehill going to the Steelers and all that stuff. But Tannehill does make sense. So he is younger than Joe Flacco, also has extensive experience, 151 starts in this league. He's still athletic, despite age, and Kevin O'Connell's offense is predicated on a little bit of movement, a little bit of play action, a little bit of boot action from the quarterback. 3-level accuracy, 66.7% in Tennessee. Does throw with anticipation. He excels off of play action as well. Because remember, he had Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Like, you think that you can run some good play action off of Tennessee as defenses are selling out to stop him. It's going to be good. He does attack the middle of the field. Like, you could say that he's lost a little bit off of his fastball deep and outside the numbers, but that just happens with age. But off of play action, attacking the middle of the field, that's exactly the two elements that Kevin O'Connell wants. Accuracy, middle of the field. That's exactly what Kevin O'Connell wants. Also, knocking on all the wood, if he does have to enter the game for a little bit or a couple of games, like, he can steward the offense in a pinch. And also, with all the weapons around Tannehill, like, he doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. All he has to do is hand off and distribute. That's it. That's it. Also, like we said, this is not it's not my job to mentor J.J. McCarthy. No. Like, it's completely different. He be coming in on a very cheap deal. He be coming in as clearly the backup quarterback. And again, by all accounts and all reports, like Ryan Tannehill, high football IQ, good in the quarterback room, and he's not going to be a stick in the mud. He's like, I'm not starting, so I'm not sharing information. I'm not talking about situations. No, that's nonsense. Like, Tannehill knows his role and will shut his mouth, except for when he's passing on knowledge to J.J. McCarthy, which would be good. So, again, Flacco, Tannehill, kind of a toss-up. Like, I guess I would lean Tannehill because, frankly, I think physically having him out all of last year is actually a positive for him. Plus, he is younger than Flacco. And if it came down to it, I think skill set-wise, especially given movement skill-wise, I would give the nod to Tannehill as a slightly better option than Flacco, even though Flacco did start games last year, right? But I think that both of them make sense as a veteran backup for J.J. McCarthy. Plus, I think the Vikings could and should, despite low draft picks, look in the draft or as a priority, a UDFA, to find that project quarterback 3 besides Brett Rippin-Ass. So we'll see. Anyways, your thoughts on our thoughts. Vikings reportedly in discussions with quarterback Ryan Tannehill. Nothing imminent, but discussions. Also, it's important to note that there's a distinct difference here. In discussions, have had discussions with Ryan Tannehill and his agent. Also, J.J. McCarthy and Ryan Tannehill share the same agent. It never got to that point with Rodgers, right? A lot of internal discussion, a lot of Kevin O'Connell watching some tape. That's just checking the boxes. That's just doing their damn jobs, Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi. This one has already been reported to a point that the Rodgers discussion never even got to. Like, there was never any, hey, the Vikings talked directly to Rodgers and or Rodgers' agent. There wasn't any of that. But this one, discussions with Tannehill. That's important. There's a very important distinction there. Let us know your thoughts, comment section, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.